Hi, it's Nancy. Today is April 23rd, 2022. How are you doing? With everything going on around the world, we are definitely going through quite a lot of adjustments. Stay safe, stay healthy, and don't forget to recite some sutras, hold some mantras, and chant the name of Amitabha. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the little bell, and let's be friends. Today, I would like to share with you a conversation between the Buddha and a Liche tribesman, Bhati. Let's see how the Buddha logically turned over Bhati's mind. Once a Liche tribesman, Bhati, came to visit the Buddha at a lecture hall in the city of Liche. Bhati said to the Buddha, "World Honored One, I have heard these words. Gautama can only confuse people with illusions. He's also good at abduction. He abducted people of other sects. World One, is it true, or is it just someone trying to slander World Honored One? I didn't want to believe these words easily, so I came over here to hear your words." The Buddha said, "Bhati, don't take it for granted just because it's the prevailing view of the majority. Don't take it for granted just because it's from the ancient Vedas. Don't take it for granted just because it's a teaching from a complete successor. Don't believe it just because it's from the classics. Don't just believe it based on logic. Don't believe it only on the basis of reasonable reasoning. Don't believe it only based on rational thinking. Don't believe it only on the basis of a well thought out point of view. Don't just rely on the authority and good reputation of the preacher to believe what he says. Don't believe what he says just because he is your teacher. Bhati, if after one thing is done, there will be consequences that are sinful, not good, and condemned by the wholesome, or attachments that will result in useless sufferings, then they should be abandoned." The Buddha then explained with some examples. "Bhati, if greed and hatred arise in people's mind, do you think it is beneficial or not?" World Honored One, it is not beneficial. Bhati, once greed and anger arise in people's mind, they will be deceived and become attached. If this happens, they are likely to commit evil deeds such as killing, robbing, fornicating, deceiving, and so on. Not only do they do this themselves, but also they may instigate others to do the same. For these people, aren't they like being trapped in a long dark night and suffering without help all the time? World Honored One, it is like this indeed. Bhati, what do you think? Are greed and anger good or not, sinful or not? Will greed and anger be condemned or praised by the wise? World Honored One, greed and anger are not good, and they're sinful and will be condemned by the wise. Bhati, those who do not have greed or hatred in their hearts will not be deceived by greed and anger, and they will not have attachments, and they will be able to stay away from murder, theft, sexual misconduct, and deceit. Not only do they stay away themselves, but also they persuade others to stay away. Don't these people often benefit from happiness? World Honored One, indeed they do. Bhati, what do you think? Are non-greed and non-anger good or not, sinful or not sinful? Will the wise condemn or praise them? World on the one, they are good, not sinful, and the wise will praise them. Bhati, good people in all the worlds all teach their disciples like this. You should tame your greed, hatred, delusion, and anger. When greed, hatred, delusion, and anger are subdued, you will not be affected by them and commit evil deeds. After listening to the Buddha's words, Bhati was greatly relieved, and he said to the Buddha that from then on, he is willing to return to the Buddha for the rest of his life as a lay disciple of the Buddha. At this point, the Buddha returned to the original question and asked Bhati, Bhati, did I say to you, come Bhati, be my student, I'll be a teacher? Bhati said, no, World One, you didn't say that. The Buddha then said, Gautama can only confuse people with illusions. He is also good at abduction. He abducted people, disciples of other sects, are just slanderous words of some thoughtless Brahmins and ascetics. Bhati said to the Buddha, World One, this is truly a skillful seduction, a wonderful illusion. I earnestly hope that you can also induce my dear clan with such skillful temptation, so that my clan can also obtain long-term benefits and happiness. Amitabha, this today's Dharma share. Observe our own mind, clear out greed, hatred, and anger from the coarse to the finest. This is good Dharma. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye.